Episode 27 of the MicroMuse begins with a big old shout out to my friend and client Sophie Lee, who coined the phrase the yogurt brand method for the tired old avatar exercise that we are all told to do. So, why am I banging on about mouldy old yogurt today? Good question. Just gonna take you away from my wet washing. So when I first started in running my business, I did a lot of courses. I listened to a lot of advice, some good, some not so good. And the thing that came up all the time was you need to niche and you need an avatar, a customer avatar. And the advice for doing these customer avatars always had you end up with something like you're marketing to Sandra. She's 38 years old. She lives in Coventry, and she has 2 children and a husband and a dog called Fido, and she really loves pumpkin spice latte, and her favorite brand is Lululemon, even though Lululemon is really problematic, and so she's really conflicted about whether or not to actually go with Lululemon because of the whole, not suitable for fat people thing, but actually she likes them, so where else is she going to get the clothes from? And oh my god, please stop. And none of those things have anything to do with what you're actually selling. Not at all saying that demographics are completely useless. That's not true. Demographics can be very, very useful, especially with certain types of businesses and with certain types of audiences. However, they should at best be the very, very, very start, like the top layer. Because what we're really interested in here, and this is, I'm talking about marketing avatars and marketing kind of customers, but this is also really relevant to your ideal reader if you're writing a book or if you're writing any kind of content. It's like the demographics are the least interesting part about anybody, right? Our kind of physical characteristics and the surface level stuff is the least interesting part. What we really want to do, and what I always encourage my clients to do, is think about who needs to hear my message and how can I get it to them. And if you start with that idea, with that kind of premise, who needs to hear my idea, my message, and how can I reach them, that's a far more useful place to start than with a whole bunch of random demographics. The demographics might come later. And I'm just going to prove that to you a little bit as well, because I could do that demographic exercise, but I've got books on my shelf from my clients on such a wide variety of subjects. Like I've got a book on divorce and other aspects of family law, recruitment, how to get a job, a children's book about music, biopsychology, self-care, and how it's not a bubble bath, it's a lot deeper than that. The Croatian idea of pomelo, which is like a philosophy on life. What else? I've got marketing, various books on marketing and sales, but different aspects of it. Freelancing, how to kind of build a successful freelance and all of the lessons learnt from that. A book about doing something different every single day, which is really, really cool. And a book about currently about to be published about being your unapologetic self as a woman, being beyond palatable, which is really, really exciting. All the way up to fake grass, a whole book about grass, lawns, and fake grass. And those books are so wildly different from each other, and the people writing them are so wildly different and from such different backgrounds and experiences that if I was niching, if I was niching based on a bunch of demographics, I would never reach any of those people. So my criteria is and always has been who has got an incredible message that they need to get out to people that is burning a hole inside, like through their skull, that they really feel the need to put into a book and have a desperate burning desire to publish it. That's the thing that ties all of my clients together. And that's far more useful and less vague actually than a bunch of demographics. I know it might sound really vague, but if you're optimizing, I hate that word. If you are if you are writing for an idea that ties people together, something that people care about, that's far more powerful. Going beneath the surface is far more powerful than trying to write for a bunch of surface level stuff that really doesn't mean anything beyond, what we can see and hear and perceive instantly. So I would like to leave you with 5-minute takeaway. I would like you to set a timer for 5 minutes and think about who needs to hear your message, why they need to hear it, and how you might find them. And then scribble a bunch of ideas to write about so that you can reach them. And maybe out of that will come the big idea for the book that you want to write. And if that's the case, I would really like to encourage you to drop me a DM and say, tell me, drop me a DM, drop me a comment beneath, and tell me that you really want to start this, because I've got my Kickstart Your Book bundle, which is £99, and it gets you thinking about all of the stuff that we've just talked about, all of that beneath the surface stuff, all of people's motivations and the things that really get under their skin. That is what you need to be thinking about, plus your goals for your writing in your book and all of that stuff that we don't tend to think about very deeply. And then I'm also gifting you a reader journey template, which doesn't do, it's not the typical reader avatar thing at all, and it really gets you thinking about who's picking your book up, who's reading your work, why, and where it's going to take them. And that's the really, really important thing. And if you want more from me, you can visit moxiebooks.co.uk/freebies to join my mailing list and get some goodies to help you use your voice to make good trouble. And if you do that, you will get a special offer for my Kickstart Your Book bundle. So I really recommend doing that. Cool, thanks. And also subscribe. Subscribe to me on Instagram, which is Tiny Beetle Steps, and subscribe to me on LinkedIn, which you can do by ringing my bell. And I will be back. I will be back same time next week. Peace out.